Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Poetry by the Fireside. At the moment, we don't have a fire, but I am holding a torch in my hand. Recently, I found an unbelievably magnificent ruin in Vintage Story, and it reminded me of one of our great poems, Ozymandias. But what is not generally known is that the poem Ozymandias was written by Percy Bysshe Shelley, but Shelley visited the British Museum in 1817 with a fellow poet, Horace Smith, and suggested that they should both produce a sonnet on the subject of the recent Egyptian finds. Now, the one we know today, of course, is the one by Percy Bysshe Shelley, but Horace Smith's is not bad. Shelley's sonnet, of course, reflects his lifelong hatred of tyranny. I thought I would read you Ozymandias, then I'm going to read you Horace Smith's poem, and then, you know me, guys, I can't think without thinking in doggerel. I'm going to read you a poem that I wrote for our arena in Vintage Story. So let's start off with Ozymandias. I met a traveller from an antique land who said 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear: My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. And nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. Absolutely brilliant poem. And I have to say, if anyone's seen the very old film of Planet of the Apes, the first version, where Charlton Heston at the end of the film comes across the head of the Statue of Liberty, I am absolutely sure that whoever made that image in the film was aware of that poem. So let us turn to Horace Smith, who was a very overlooked guy, I think. He really didn't benefit from his liaison. And his poem goes: In Egypt's sandy silence, all alone, stands a gigantic leg, which far off throws the only shadow that the desert knows. I am great Ozymandias, saith the stone, the King of Kings. This mighty city shows the wonders of my hand. The city's gone, naught but the leg remaining to disclose the site of this forgotten Babylon. So Horace Smith had decided that just one leg was the answer. And it's a good poem, but it lacks, of course, the power of the first. Now, I'm not a poet. I just like writing doggerel when something strikes my imagination. And so this is what I have written for that magnificent arena ruin that I found in Vintage Story. Abandoned in the desert lies a mighty arena, strong and square, raising the question, who once performed there? What mighty deeds of sports or art fired the blood and won the heart? Buried in dirt, blocks falling at will, it's a ruin now, but potent still. Should I inhabit that haunted space and overwrite it as my special place? Or leave it slumbering in restful sleep and return only occasionally to peep at the forgotten glory of a vintage story?